We are kicking off with WWE NXT as during the show, the NXT Vengeance Day transmission card was shown various times after first appearing during last week's episode. The transmission card also appeared right at the end of the show, but this time an image was shown of 4 men, their identities hidden in shadows, leaving fans to wonder who they are. Some have speculated that one of the men could be Hikuleo, who has been under contract for some time now, while some have named Scripps, who was let go from WWE in June 2024. There has been speculation that the group could be some absent NXT names, including Saquon Sugars, Cutler James, Keanu Carver, and Dion Lennox. The figure second to the left even had fans speculating that this could be Ricky Starks, who many believe will join WWE whenever he's able to leave AEW, where he's not being used. But who do you think will be revealed as members of this group? Are you excited to see what unfolds at NXT Vengeance Day? Share your thoughts down in the comments section. During Raw, Michael Cole provided an update on Roman Reigns, stating that the undisputed WWE Universal Champion will be out of action for the foreseeable future. However, no details were shared regarding the severity of his Royal Rumble injury. As we mentioned yesterday, PW Insider has clarified and is now reporting that the injury is purely a storyline development. Following the dramatic events at the Royal Rumble, WWE is setting the stage for a massive triple threat match at WrestleMania 41 featuring Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk. Reigns' temporary absence caused by Rollins' brutal attack is a calculated move by WWE to intensify the rivalry. The company intends to keep him off television for now, only to reintroduce him in a more impactful way after Elimination Chamber, ensuring his return maximizes the hype leading into WrestleMania 41. If these plans come to fruition, would you be excited for this triple threat showdown? Let us know in the comments below. Alexa Bliss made her shocking return in last week's 2025 Women's Royal Rumble match, but that wasn't just a huge moment for WWE, but also caught the attention of Hollywood insiders. PW Insider reports that the massive reaction Bliss received put her on the radar of entertainment execs who are actively scouting WWE names for potential roles in films and TV. Thanks to the Netflix deal, WWE is more visible than ever, leaving industry sources paying close attention to WWE superstars they believe can cross over into the mainstream. Bliss's return stood out not just because of the secrecy surrounding it, but because of the ovation Bliss received as the 21st entrant over 2 years after her previous appearance. WWE has secured a new 5-year contract with Bliss, making it clear she'll be a part of the company's future, but now the goddess could be appearing outside the promotion. Whether this leads to Hollywood success like John Cena and Batista have experienced, or if she chooses to stay focused on wrestling, that remains to be seen. After her role in the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble match, Jordynne Grace's move to WWE is now official, and the former TNA star isn't on a short-term deal. Grace has signed a 5-year contract with WWE, keeping her in WWE until 2029, and Fightful Sean Ross Sapp reports WWE wasn't taking any chances when securing the juggernaut. Grace has signed a main roster contract, putting her on the same tier both contractually and financially as WWE's top stars, rather than on a less lucrative developmental deal. Despite this, WWE has decided to have Grace start in NXT, with the plan being to integrate her into WWE's system before fast-tracking her to the main roster. Jordynne Grace retains full rights to her ring name and theme song, both of which she owns, and though no official debut date has been set, she's expected at the Performance Center soon. There, Grace will be training, appearing backstage, and preparing for in-ring action as WWE aims to figure out her long-term direction now that she's under contract. What do you think about Jordynne Grace committing to WWE for the long haul? Please share your thoughts and feedback in the comments section below. After his setback in the Men's Rumble match, John Cena shared during the post-show that he'll compete in next month's Men's Elimination Chamber match. A victory in the contest will see him face either WWE Champion Cody Rhodes or World Champion Gunther at WrestleMania, depending on which champion Jey Uso selects. We know Cena will be in action on March 1st, but for now, John has left WWE behind. As PW Insider reports, he's returned to Budapest, Hungary to resume filming Matchbox. The action film is inspired by the classic toy brand and is being produced by Apple Studios, Skydance Media, and Mattel Film, and has been called an action-packed, globe-trotting adventure. Though plot details remain a closely guarded secret, the film follows a group of childhood friends who must come together to stop a looming global catastrophe. With this Hollywood schedule packed, Cena isn't expected on WWE TV until Elimination Chamber, and when he's back, all eyes will be on if he can secure a title match at WrestleMania. What do you think about Cena's final run? Should he get one last championship reign, or is it time to pass the torch? Let us know in the comments. John Cena and CM Punk are the only 2 names confirmed for the Men's Elimination Chamber match, and unlike John, Punk had to earn his spot in the match by winning a qualifier. In Raw's main event, Punk had to topple Sami Zayn to earn his place in Toronto, and their different circumstances have left Punk furious at Big Match John. While speaking on the Good Guy Bad Guy podcast, CM Punk questioned why Cena got a free pass into the match. He said, "I'm looking at the chamber now like, oh, Cena's got a bye? Cena just gets to be in it? Okay, mister, I'm filming Matchbox in Budapest. I'm just gonna disappear and then I just get a gift? So I want to qualify for the chamber so I can slap out of John Cena. That might be my last opportunity to do so. Obviously, Mania is a big deal, and I'm not putting that on the back burner or anything like that, but he's already in it, and he got a gift, he got a buy, he got a handout, he's in the chamber because he's John Cena. Well, I'm going to qualify, and I'm going to come after him. That's my goal. John Cena is a 3-time winner of the Elimination Chamber, while Punk only has 1 victory to his name, and it remains to be seen who else earns a spot in the Elimination Chamber match. Whoever is next to qualify, they, unlike Cena, will have to win a match to enter the chamber, and the WWE icon may have put a huge target on himself by getting a bye. Bayley was on NXT to confront Roxanne Perez, and the Prodigy boldly claimed that she wants all the titles from Raw and SmackDown, another tease of an imminent call-up. The pair were interrupted by NXT Women's Champion Julia, who herself was interrupted by 2025 Women's Rumble winner Charlotte Flair, who claimed NXT will always be her home. There was an odd moment where Flair said she wishes she could get in that ring and shake Julia's hand, apparently oblivious to the steel steps that were 10 feet away and in plain sight. Charlotte discussed each person in the ring, and when she came to Bayley, she said she feels like we've got to, and the camera cut to Bayley making the 4 horsewomen gesture. Charlotte presumably threw up the same gesture, though WWE didn't show her doing that, and the moment Bayley threw up the sign, WWE cut away from the role model. In the end, Flair didn't choose to face Julia, as the segment was the typical Royal Rumble winner tease, and the segment would also see Cora Jade attack Bayley. Julia would also get taken down, but in the most shocking moment, Cora would swing at Perez, ending the friendship between the two. What did you think of this segment? Should Flair have challenged Julia? And what do you make of Jade splitting with Perez? Share your opinions on this down in the comments. Now, Duke Hudson's WWE career is over, but while news of his exit from NXT was only recently announced, his release actually happened weeks ago in January. WWE cut ties with him as Triple H reportedly did not see him as a long-term player or a main roster talent, despite 6 years of being with WWE after joining in 2019. Hudson, real name Brendan Vink, would transition to TV in 2020 and even had a brief run on Raw alongside Shane Thorne, as the pair had caught the attention of Paul Heyman. As Raw's executive director at the time, Heyman planned to push Hudson as a fresh face, but his vision didn't align with Vince McMahon's thinking, and his time on the main roster would end. Even with McMahon gone, Triple H wasn't sold on Hudson's potential, and despite a brief NXT tag title run with Andre Chase in 2023, that wasn't enough to keep his career alive. Now Hudson has addressed his release, as in a cryptic video on Twitter, Hudson interviewed himself for a Wrestling with Identity podcast and shared a brutal conversation.
Welcome to Wrestling with Identity. Do we have a name for you or us yet? I don't know. All right, well, let's get straight to the point. You've been fired, which might be breaking news to a lot of the people here. I don't think I've seen anything online, and you weren't a part of a group with budget cuts, right? So this really was more of a we hate you. Yeah. That's probably why you look so rough. I mean, I'm pulling it off. But now that the cat's out of the bag, how do you feel about wasting 6 years of your life in that building? I wouldn't say it was a waste. Come on. Think about everything that happened in your time there. Like what? Well, you and Bronny, for example. I mean, you started at the same time. You came up in Australia together. Now he's jumping off the top of cages at Survivor Series, and you're being written off TV again. Okay. Rhea, for example. She is a megastar. She grew up watching you wrestle in Australia. You love telling people that story. Right. Well, they overtook you. Your time was wasted. I can be happy for my friends and be disappointed in my own shortcomings at the same time. Oh, come on. You're free now. You can say whatever you want to say. Don't just stick to what you learn in media training. Tell me what you want to say. I don't know. I'm not done with you. We'll be right back.
Hudson's release has come as a tough blow to the fans of the Australian, as well as his Chase U allies, and on Twitter, Andre Chase thanked Hudson for his hard work with the faction. Chase made reference to various highlights of Duke's career, including his introduction as a poker player, and said that Hudson was the real MVP of the group. Via Hell, another Chase U alum shared a lengthy message on Instagram calling Hudson the best work colleague a girl could ever ask for. Hale recalled Hudson helping her develop skills and giving her knowledge she needed as a wrestler and as a person, and is excited for Duke to go kick and show how amazing he is. Duke's Chase U allies are firmly behind him, as are countless fans who will be keeping a close eye on where Hudson lands once his non-compete clause with WWE expires. Now, Jey Uso's victory in the Men's Royal Rumble has proven to be divisive, with some backing the popular star while others believe it should have gone to a bigger name. CM Punk was considered one of the favorites going into the Rumble match, and on the Good Guy Bad Guy podcast, Punk shared his thoughts on Uso's surprising victory. I think Jay winning is fantastic. When you have somebody in there like John Cena that everyone is going to immediately assume LOL Cena's gonna win, earlier in the night Charlotte wins the Women's Royal Rumble. When there are 30 people in the Rumble, male or female, that is 30 fan bases, or at least 29 fan bases, that are going to converge and hate whoever wins the Rumble. Jay has now guaranteed himself a world title match at WrestleMania, and fans are eager to see who he picks, as his Cinderella story could see the tag specialist win big in Las Vegas this April. Lexis King had a great promo in which he embraced being the son of the loose cannon Brian Pillman and delivered his points to perfection. King delivered despite one fan booing the entire time, and while King intended to get a negative response from fans, this fan's incessant booing sounded more like a cow mooing than a person. King shared that he has changed the rules of the NXT Heritage Cup as the round space system is finished, and instead matches will be a simple one fall to a finish. In the surprise of the night, King was interrupted by Fandango, who as a representative of TNA spoke of wanting to bring more gold to the System faction. It's important to note that Fandango is going by his TNA name of JDC, which stands for Johnny Dango Curtis, but the Titantron said Fandango and his original WWE theme song played. A match for the Heritage Cup will take place next week between King and JDC, and what do you think of this surprising return? Let us know below. JDC is the latest TNA star to make his presence felt in NXT, and in an NXT digital exclusive, he said that NXT means the world to me, and it gave him goosebumps to return. He added that he's grateful to be back and can't get over how good it feels to be back, and looking to the future, said that fans couldn't predict what'll happen when he faces King. As Fandango, JDC was with WWE for years, though his only title win was an NXT tag title reign with Tyler Breeze, but now he's ready to take the NXT Heritage Cup back to TNA Wrestling. Stephanie Vaquer earned a big win over Jacy Jayne ahead of her title match with Women's North American Champion Fallon Henley at Vengeance Day. This was a good, hard-fought match with a variety of offense as Vaquer continues to shine in NXT since her debut, and this week allowed for another good performance. There was an odd moment when Jasmine Nix tried to interfere but accidentally struck Jayne, and one would think this would have resulted in a DQ, given that the competitor was hit. Ultimately, the match continued and Vaquer got the win, earning serious momentum as she intends to become the third ever Women's North American Champion. On January 31st, Chris Jericho's Rockin' Wrestling Rager at Sea set sail, and the Cruise/Wrestling convention concluded on February 4th. As you'd expect, the cruise featured a lot of wrestling, including a tournament where the winner would earn a shot at the Jericho Cruise Oceanic title held by Michael Oku. As part of the tournament, AEW's Tommy Billington defeated former WWE star Elijah to advance, but now Billington's future in the ring is uncertain due to an injury. Though the details of the injury are unclear, PW Insider confirmed that the Dynamite Kid was hurt and was kept out of the events on February 2nd as a precaution. It's interesting to see Elijah be a part of the cruise, as it's been reported that he's working on a handshake basis with AEW, and as we previously reported, has aligned with Vincent and Dutch. Elijah, formerly Elias, recently revealed his faction with the Righteous to be known as the Righteous Ones, and fans are expecting the ex-superstar on AEW/ROH programming soon. Speaking of WWE alum, Enzo Amore and Big Cass, aka Big Bill, reunited as part of the cruise, and Enzo delivered the iconic Certified G intro from their days as a WWE tag team. Enzo used his classic lines, including telling fans that you can't teach that, while Big Bill finished off this burst of nostalgia by spelling out S-A-W-F-T, soft. As for Billington, it remains to be seen how severe he's hurt and how long he'll need to recover, and though AEW has yet to give an update, fans are hoping for a speedy recovery for the talented wrestler. Corey Graves was once again on commentary on NXT, but on social media this week has been sharing photos of his time as a wrestler for WWE. As we reported back in December, Graves has been cleared to wrestle again, though it'll be up to both him and WWE as to whether he has another match. That said, the fact that he's posting these pictures has excited plenty of fans, but for now, we'll have to wait and see whether a return to action ever happens for the former NXT Tag Team Champion. Backstage, a match was set up with Chemical X, the trio of Tatum, Paxley, Gigi, Dolin, and Shotzi, acting more heelish in their segment with Zaria, Sol Ruca, and Metaphors Girls. Paxley teamed with Dolin to defeat Zaria and Ruca, and this was yet another showcase of Zaria's dominance as WWE continues to get her presentation spot on. Ethan Page challenged Javon Evans to a match in a move that stopped Evans from being suspended after attacking Page during last week's show. Ava agreed to make a match for Vengeance Day if Evans is cleared to compete in what Page believes will be a bigger punishment for the young OG's ambush. Ridge Holland defeated Stax, and Izzy Dame, who had previously cost Holland a North American title match, was at ringside. Holland kept his eyes on Izzy throughout this week's match, and Sean Spears, who's been eyeing the title for some time, was on the platform with his group watching on. There were tensions before the match in the D'Angelo family as Stax was annoyed at Tony spending time with Izzy and not helping them out a few weeks ago. It was later revealed that a steel cage match for the title between D'Angelo and Ridge Holland will take place next week, and this match was made by Izzy Dame. Could Izzy Dame actually be aligned with Holland and or Shawn Spears? We'll hopefully get a clearer image of her true intentions during this title match. Kalani Jordynne defeated Carmen Petrovic, and fans saw a huge shift in Jordynne's character, as with her rival Jade Parker at ringside, Jordynne locked Petrovic in a submission after the match. This led to the referee reversing the decision, giving Petrovic the win, and on commentary it was noted that Jada had gotten under the skin of Jordynne. There were issues between A-Town Down Under, as they couldn't decide who should win the NXT title at Vengeance Day ahead of their tag team match with Obafemi and Trick Williams. Eddie Thorpe attacked Williams with a strap, allowing Grayson Waller to get the pinfall, and Thorpe attacked Williams after the match to bring NXT to an end. And that was this week's show. And what did you think of the show and the build towards NXT Vengeance Day on February 15th? Share your thoughts and opinions in the comments section. In 2020, Indy Hartwell attempted to help Candice LeRae become NXT Women's Champion when the Poison Pixie challenged then-champion Io Sky at Halloween Havoc. Fitting with the theme, Hartwell donned a Ghostface disguise, a nod to the iconic character from the Scream franchise, but this proved to be an issue for WWE. During a recent KNS WrestleFest signing, Hartwell shared how years later, when she wanted to pay homage to this iconic moment from her career, she was blocked. She explained, "So the Ghostface thing with Candice, I think it happened at Halloween Havoc 2021 or maybe 2020. Then a few years later I had a ladder match at Halloween Havoc, so I got Ghostface gear made, but then right before the match I was told by a higher up, very high up person who's no longer there, I wasn't allowed to wear the Ghostface gear because of copyright reasons. I tried to argue and say, but we did it on TV a few years ago, but they said no, so then I couldn't wear it." Hartwell shared that she didn't get into a full-blown fight with his WWE higher-up, but that Steph DeLander, who was with NXT at the time, had to step in and pull her away from the situation. Though wrestling fans love a callback, Hartwell never got the chance to relive her popular Ghostface character, and her time with WWE would end in November of last year. Do you wish WWE would have allowed Hartwell to wear her Ghostface-themed attire, or were they right to step in and say no? Share your thoughts down in the comments. After the January 27th edition of Raw finished, Carmelo Hayes made a huge statement by ambushing Cody Rhodes, leaving fans to wonder why he'd do such a thing. Now Melo has explained himself, as on the One Mona, Hayes shared that he was going to make a statement. He wanted to do it in a big way. Seeing an opportunity, Hayes targeted Rhodes, who was already showing signs of injury, and Hayes questioned why people were surprised by his actions. Hayes argued that he was doing what was necessary and wanted to declare for the Royal Rumble in a bold manner, and saw attacking Cody as the perfect opportunity to make an impact. Hayes acknowledged his history with Rhodes, who was Carmelo's first opponent after being called up to the main roster, and called himself an opportunist in WWE. Carmelo's ultimate ambition is to become undisputed WWE champion, but despite this bold declaration into the Rumble, his time in the match wasn't as big. Hayes was in fact the first man eliminated during the match, as he was thrown out by Braun Breaker and would attack Akira Tozawa in frustration during his entry into the contest. Nevertheless, we'll have to see if Hayes gets a chance to face off against Cody Rhodes in a proper feud on TV, as there's plenty of fans ready to see a big push for the ex-NXT champion. On Raw, the New Day's heel turn got a new edge to it as the pair debuted their brand new entrance theme, but fans were caught off guard with the captions for this segment. The caption in question credited the new theme to legendary wrestling composer Jim Johnson, who hasn't worked with WWE in years, but this caption was just a mistake. WWE sources confirmed to Fightful that this was a simple error in captioning, and despite many fans believing Johnson was back in the fold, that is not the case. Those sources not only made clear that Johnson isn't back with WWE, but there's also no plans to bring him back, and it was Johnson who produced the New Day's Babyface theme song. As for this new track, it was created by Zazie, with popular rapper Mega Ran providing the vocals, as he confirmed on Twitter after the song's debut during Raw. Mega Ran has worked with WWE before, previously contributing to Xavier Woods' Bow Down entrance theme during his King of the Ring run after winning the crown in 2021. Now Mega Ran is helping to shape the New Day's next chapter as one of WWE's most loathed tag teams, and despite what fans may have seen, Jim Johnson is not creating new themes.